Welcome to Open for Business. Mapapanood nyo rin ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Samahan ninyo kaming tuklasin ang iba't ibang pamamaraan kung paano mapaunlad ang inyong negosyo. Aalamin din natin mula sa mga eksperto ang mga pangunahing trends at mga estratehiya kung paano natin mapapanatiling ang negosyo, maliit man o malaki, ay maging laging open for business. Health is wealth, and wealth without health is worthless. Ngayong panahon ng pandemya, kinilalang mga bayani sa modernong panahon ng ating mga healthcare workers at dapat nating patuloy na pahalagahan at parangalan ang mga ito na walang tigil na nagsusumikap na mapabuti ang kalusugan ng publiko at pangalagaan ang mga pasyente. They also inspire innovation and promote health equity. The Sierra McKeeling Health Corporation is one of the leading providers of high-quality, low-cost healthcare services including eye care, laboratories testing, and consultations. How do they stay up to date on current healthcare developments? How do they see the future of healthcare? What are their strategies to stay relevant in the healthcare sector? Our guests, Dr. Arnelin Marasigan Aguirre of Sierra McKeeling Health Corporation and Attorney Arth June Aguilar Marasigan, will answer all these in this episode of Open for Business. Welcome to Open for Business. Today we have Dr. Arnelin Marasigan Aguirre of Sierra Eye Center Plus and Attorney Arth June Aguilar Marasigan. How are you po?
Okay lang po.
How are you, Attorney?
Good.
Better po, much better. Nakaharap kayo.
During my introduction, I was talking about, this very old saying, health is wealth. And
Yes.
a lot of people say that we are already post-pandemic. But there's a lot of sectors, there's a lot of reports that also say that no, wala pa rin tayo nasa pandemic pa rin tayo. So, kailangan yung health and wellness natin priority. So, what's your take on that, Doktora? Unahin po natin si Doktora Aguirre.
Well, nasa pandemic pa rin po tayo. We're still in the midst of pandemic. And then hopefully, with the advent of our vaccines, I think 80% of the people are already vaccinated. And almost 50, I think, are boosted. So, really, we need to understand that census of people who died already, that indeed that health is really wealth. Because walang makakapalit doon sa buhay ng tao. So, pag nawala tayo, wala na tayong pag-asa. So, with health, there is hope.
Attorney,
Yes.
kayo po yung nakaranas ng maduguang pagkikihalubilo sa mga
Yes.
tao because of the election. So,
Yes po.
how do you assess po, this say health and safety protocols during the elections? And do you think, with the new variant po, nakahanda rin po ba ang mga tao, halimbawa po sa inyong lugar, na patuloy na mapanatili ang health and safety protocols po?
Actually, during the elections, talaga, we've encountered so much challenges because of the restrictions. But we see to it that we follow the minimum health standards so that we will not be posing any risk to our voters. At the same time, we protect ourselves. So talaga pong very, very protective kami sa aming sarili and sa aming mga kinakampaign constituents. At the same time, the last 2 years kasi I've experienced, I was exposed, not the virus, but exposed tayo sa many risks dahil after the lifting of the restrictions, last 2020, nagsimula po tayong bumaba sa ating mga kababayan to know and their situation. As a matter of fact, the last 7 months or 8 months, nag-conduct tayo ng mga free medical services. Of course, in cooperation with the Sierra Makiling Health Corporation, led by my sister. So, nag-conduct tayo ng mga free medical services like ECG, X-ray, blood chem, and CBC checkups. And we also gave free medicines. So, I think with the advent of these vaccines and with me winning these elections, and with the, of course, guidance of my sister and the health professionals na nasa likod ko po, I think our town is very much ready to beat up and face these challenges that we had to face. And sabi ko nga po, this pandemic is still here. So yung COVID, hindi po mawawala na yun parang sipon siya. So nandiyan na habang buhay. So what we do is to lessen the risk of infection. Yes.
Now, Dr. Akira, we know that there's a lot of other diseases, sicknesses causing death. Lalo na nung wala pa yung vaccine, COVID-19 is one of them, and it's it affected the whole world. So, ano po ang napansin ninyo naman doon sa pagtanggap or pagbabago ng mga pasyente o ng mga consumers o ng karaniwang mga tao pagdating sa health and wellness?
Well, ang laki ng impact kasi ng pagdating ng COVID-19 sa buong mundo. Especially nung 2020, nung nag-umpisa yung pandemic. Dito na lang sa atin, sa Philippines, lahat ng mga hospitals talagang yun ang pinrioritize. Siyempre because of the disease. So, pinag-aaralan ng mga gamot, tinitingnan kung paano sila i-manage ng mabuti. So, ang nakita kong problema that time, umpisahan natin noong 2020, napabayaan natin yung ibang mga illnesses and diseases ng mga tao. Like heart problem, stroke, cancer. Lahat ng tao, lahat ng doktor nakafocus sa COVID-19. How can we prevent it? How can we stop it from killing our people or killing the
Which is
patients?
saddening, Doktora, kasi kumbaga kung may heart problem ka at kailangan mo ng continuous treatment dahil na-prioritize ang COVID, wala na, mas lalong nahirapan.
Kung titingnan natin kasi sa census, maraming cause of death na secondary na lang ang COVID. So, tinamaan sila ng COVID because of their present illness. So, yung mga nagdadialysis natin, ng mga pasyente, so since medyo naging careful na lahat, nagsarado lahat eh. So, talagang yung mga naging masyadong mahigpit pagdating sa mga protocol. And then, nung nagkaroon na nga tayo ng vaccine, late 2020 to early 2021, nagkaroon ng medyo pagbabago. So, natuto yung mga tao, nagkaroon ng, na-prioritize ulit yung mga dating mga diseases sa mga hospitals, although nagkaroon naman tayo ng telemedicine and teleconsult. Yun naman, doon naman nagkaroon siya ng advent noong 2021.
Bago kayo mag-discuss po sa telemedicine, gusto ko lang matanong si Attorney Art. Yung sinabi po kasi nila na parang problema yun eh. Parang sometimes there was a shift of priority. It was really a priority. But are you now thinking, is there possibly an ordinance or a law that would somehow look at that practice and eventually with new diseases, with the discovery of other illnesses, may ano sa palagay ninyo naman po ang pwedeng maitulong ng gobyerno para somehow, that practice of prioritizing a specific disease over the yung sabi nga ay naging secondary na lang yung yung cause nung I think they died because of their heart problem or
Yes.
any other problems, but
Secondary na
not
lang yung
necessarily dahil
Because of COVID.
So may action ba kayo na nakikita? Is there a law or an ordinance, or how do you think can this be addressed in the future po?
So far as my serious concern, I can really relate to what Dr. has said. Because sa pag-ikot ko, even during the pandemic, even before the elections, napunta ako sa mga namamatayan. Siyempre, diba, nakikiramay tayo eh. So, siguro less than 20% naman na namatay or 10% is because of COVID. Marami talaga is heart attack, stroke, yan ang primary causes in our locality. Heart attack and stroke. So, talagang na-overlook natin na nakafocus tayo sa COVID. So, with the advent of my administration, nakita ko is first and foremost is to look into these diseases na forego na ang dami pala namin kababayan na may mga sakit na hindi nila alam may sakit sila. Because nagkanda kami ng free mobile clinic sa mga blood cam na nakita natin. Nagpa-blood cam sila sa atin. Nakita natin, taas pala ng sugar, kreya nila, ang tataas, hindi nila alam, kailangan pala ng dialysis sila, and so on and so forth. So, napabayaan ang ating mga kababayan. And not necessarily ordinance, but I will encourage my kababayans to look into their health. So I will continue my my program of mobile clinic, of bringing medical services closer to the public. Kasi marami sa Santo Tomas, maraming far-flung areas eh, so they don't have access to readily available transportation. So kaya nang ginawa ko before, I will be bringing health services to them and maybe allocating more funds to these diseases that was overlooked because of the pandemic. Siyempre, because through the help of health professionals like my sister, doctor, and I will also hire additional expert doctors in their chosen fields because I'm planning to put up a public hospital in Santo Tomas to focus on these other illnesses and diseases aside from COVID. Because yung isolation area naman ngayon, medyo na-control na natin yung spread ng COVID disease, COVID virus. So I think we will be bringing back the attention to this maybe nakalimutan mga or na-forgo na mga diseases na nandiyan pa rin, hindi rin nawawala.
Correct. Dr. Aguirre, as you were also saying earlier, napapansin natin ngayon na talagang at lalo na nung pandemic, nakita natin yung kakulangan din ng mga health workers. Diba? Kayo mismo ang nakaranas, parang minsan nagdurugo yung puso ng mga tao na yung halimbawa makagaling na doktor na doon, siya yung naapektuhan, yung nurse na solong anak. There are a lot of stories about health workers na kayo yung nasa parang frontliners, kayo yung naapektuhan. So our health workers, frontliners equipped with the latest technologies, with the latest support, and what are your suggestions po to really make sure that kahit na ano pang pandemya ngayon, kaya ba ng mga health workers natin? Do we have the proper skill, and what trainings are you looking at to really, elevate the standards of our healthcare system?
Well, as far as my clinic is concerned, all of our staff are 100% na vaccinated and boosted. That's the very important thing because based on studies, yan talaga lang yung makakapagpaprotect sa atin ngayon. So to prevent us from getting severe COVID. And then, alam mo naman kasi yung ating mga healthcare workers, especially Filipino healthcare workers and allied professional, nursing and allied professional. Pagka kasi tayo pag tayo nagtrabaho, nasa puso kasi natin yan. So, no matter kung ano yung haharapin natin na war, basta makatulong tayo sa ating mga pasyente, hindi po natin iniisip yung sarili natin. Me, myself, I am an emergency medicine specialist. So kami po talaga yung nasa front line. Although nung...
Kahit anong sakit yan.
Yeah.
I should
Yes.
know because I always
Yes.
bring my family
Marami
to the
na po
ER.
akong mga colleagues na talagang risk ng kanilang life, nagbuwis na ng kanilang buhay para dito sa COVID-19. Marami na po akong mga kabatch. So, hopefully, yung kanilang mga sacrifices is talagang magbunga ba. Hindi maging senseless yung kanilang pagkamatay. So, on my part, yung mga atin pong mga healthcare workers, ang ating mga staff, they are fully vaccinated and boosted nga po. And then, we always see to it na yun pong ating mga pasyente is ini-screen po muna nating mabuti. Kasi syempre po, kailangan din nating protektahan yung sarili natin so that we can protect others. Di po ba? So, yun po yung aming ginagawa, yung complete screening ng ating mga patients. And of course, yung ating pong mga staff is lagi po yung naka-PPE. And then yung ating minimum health standard, yung standard po na para pang-clinic or pang-hospital ay sinusunod po natin. So kung ano yung dapat na sundin, ano yung sinusunod natin na protocol ng gobyerno, ng DOH, yun po yung ginagawa natin to prevent the illness na mapunta po sa ating mga healthcare workers at ating transfer naman sa ating mga family. Yun po yung iniiwasan natin.
Attorney Arth, alam po natin na marami na po ang naiambag nyo din sa public service, pero bakit ang advocacy ninyo ay health and wellness? Is it because of a certain history in your family, or is it because of an experience, or is it because it is what you are really passionate about?
That's a very good question, Sir. Actually, kahit lawyer ako, I was a practicing lawyer for more than 10 years. So sabi ko nga, I became the municipal administrator of our town before for the past 5 years. And during my stint as administrator and during my campaign, nakita ko yung pangangailangan ng mga tao kasi I was able to mingle with different sectors of my society, of my city. And nakita ko talaga na maraming mga kababayan ko, not only Santo Tomas, maybe talaga ito is endemic sa buong Pilipinas, na marami talagang walang access sa healthcare services. So, kahit lawyer ako, nakita ko na number one na pangangailangan ng mga kababayan ko is the provision of healthcare services. Kasi marami sa kanila, namamatay ng bata, marami sa kanila, ito kinakain, ito binibili, ito pinagkakagastusan, without even thinking of their health, their own health. So sabi ko, it's about time na mag-shift tayo, ipakita natin sa ating mga kababayan na, as you said, health is wealth. So marama nila ang kahalagahan na alagaan nila yung kanilang kalusugan para sa kanilang pamilya, mga anak, at syempre para sa kaunlaran ng aming bayan. At nakita ko na marami sa mga kababayan natin na kailangan ng health service, pero kesa magpagamot, kesa magpa-blood chem, kesa magpa-x-ray, they will expend their money to maybe the more kapangailangan nila, like syempre food and other basic necessities. Kaya ayoko na dahil sa kawalan nila ng means para maka-access sa healthcare service, it has become my passion and my dream na lahat ng kababayan ko magkaroon ng access to free healthcare services. And given the fact na yung kapatid ko rin is an advocate of health, being a doctor herself, is ito yung number one na advocacy ng aking administration. Ang aking 12-point agenda is mataas na kalidad ng kalusugan. So yun yung gusto natin ma-impart sa ating mga kababayan. Yes,
Tsaka nabanggit niyo, attorney, one of your vision is to create a hospital. Is it some sort of a project for a specific period, and how do you envision it to be? What types of medical services will it offer po?
Yes. Initially, my vision is to put up at least a primary or secondary hospital, not necessarily a tertiary hospital. Kasi marami sa mga kababayan natin, nakita ko rin is hindi mapagpa-hospital because alam mo naman sa private hospital, you have to, meron dyan mga magkukuha ng down payment.
Tama.
or kailangan ICU mo kaagad. So, ang gusto ko lang naman, and as I have promised during the campaign is, ito mga kababayan ko na very badly need nilang check up or magpunta ng hospital because of an emergency situation, magkaroon sila agad, may doktor agad ang titingin sa kanila. So not necessarily tertiary but primary and secondary hospital. And of course, mamalaman nila kung ano yung dapat bang gawin sa kanilang kaanak na nangangailangan ng medical assistance. At kung hindi kaya sa ating public hospital, mai-refer sila, matulungan sila mai-refer sa karapat-dapat na hospital to treat their specific illness or disease. At least lang meron sila pupuntahan na initial na walang pipiliin, na hindi sila problema na wala kaming pera paano kami pupunta sa hospital. So yun ang gusto kong impart sa ating mga kababayan na meron silang pupuntahan, meron silang masandigan at meron silang hospital na pwedeng tumingin at manggamot sa kanila to treat their basic or their emergency urgent needs without thinking of the cost or the expenses that they will incur.
Wow, aabangan po natin yan.
Yes.
Doktora, may isa sa mga services ng inyong clinic is laboratory tests, diagnostic test. Gaano ka-importante po ang diagnostics? Ano-ano po yung mga kailangan ng, halimbawa kahit na wala kang sakit at gusto mo naman talagang malaman yung iyong health status, what are those services offered by your clinic na para naman, kasi when I was with the other clinics and hospitals before, parang may iba ino-order lang eh. Oh, I want to have colonoscopy, may mga ganon. Because they are already informed. They are aware of, the risks. Pero sa ating mga kababayan na pupunta lang sa ospital pag may nararamdaman na. Pag may nararamdaman na, wala na, huli na ang lahat. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your services available, Doktora?
Yes. Actually, ang start ko po muna, yung Sierra Makiling Health Corporation po kasi is divided into two departments or two divisions. One is the Sierra Eye Center Plus, which is the ambulatory surgery division. And then the second one, we just had our first anniversary last May 18, is the Sierra Health Diagnostics and Multispecialty Clinic. So our diagnostic center is a secondary diagnostic center, meaning we are catering or we give service like hematology, which is blood works, blood chemistry, immunology and serology, and then we have x-rays, we have ultrasounds, and we also perform biopsy and cancer tumor markers, ultrasound-guided biopsy, and excision biopsy. Yun po yung mga services namin as of now.
Halos
as a
lahat
secondary.
po, Doktora, parang ito yung mga mahalaga na eh, di ba?
Yes.
Parang, di ba, pag kunyari, pag may nangyari sa'yo, you need a CBC, which is already, everything there. X-ray also, it's a basic.
Yes.
Are these, halimbawa, pagdating po sa prices, how do you compare? I know that, one of the projects of attorney is to offer free medical services. At I'm sure patuloy nyo pang ikakampanya yon. Pero for private citizens, parang are there promotions? Are there special packages, special offers?
We have packages offered to our patients. Like combinations ng mga CBC and then urinalysis and blood chem. And then ang blood chem po kasi, for your information, meron po kasing Chem 4, Chem 6, Chem 8, may Chem 12. So may mga packages po yan. Mas makakapura po kasi tayo pagka-package kasi ang nakakapagpamahal naman kasi sa mga laboratories are yung mga reagents po na ginagamit natin. And then we at Sierra Health Diagnostics and Sierra Eye Center Plus, our goal actually is to provide quality and affordable healthcare for all. So, yun po yung aming pinaka-tagline. So, we provide affordable healthcare without sacrificing the quality. Kasi yung quality po ng result, yun po yung pinaka-importante para magamot natin ang tama yung ating mga pasyente.
Wow, that's something very interesting and inspiring to hear. Pero attorney, so ito na naman tayo. So maganda yung vision, maganda yung project, but katulad po ng ibang mga local government units, you also needed national support.
Yes.
And also, ang maganda rin na katulad po nung nangyaring eleksyon, isa sa magandang makapasok sa Pilipinas ay foreign investments. So at least with that, we will believe and we will hope that there will be more modern, di ba, health facilities in the Philippines. What's your take po on foreign investments who will invest in the healthcare system, and what innovations or new laws or implementation
Yes.
of available laws can the national government do para din masuportahan po ang mga LGUs?
Again, that's a very nice question. No? And speaking in behalf of my city and part of my program, part of my 12-point agenda is the investment promotion. Kasi maganda yung nakita natin na part of my plan is to invite investors, foreign and local alike. But because of the advent of this COVID nga, and the need for more health services and let's say modern health facility or services, I will see to it. I think we have already passed a law in Santo Tomas for an investment and incentives promotion. When you say incentives, is I will be providing incentives to these investors, foreign and local alike, that will be investing in Santo Tomas, particularly in the provision of modern healthcare services or modern technologies to fight illnesses, COVID or whatever, what diseases that would be, to give them this incentive of, let's say, tax holiday for them. If that will be a new technology to be introduced to the Philippines or in our city, in our town, I could give them at least 3 years tax holiday for them to be able to focus more on the development of their technology. So part po yan ng ating programa talaga na mag-invite ng mga investors at magbigay ng tulong sa kanila, and to ask, in return, I will be asking for their corporate social responsibility in giving back to the community and to my constituents. So sana, I think naman ang ating ang Board of Investments in terms of national, they also have this program of giving incentives to foreign investors or investors for per se that would be introducing new technology or new innovations, not now only to health but in different in industrial fields or in different fields of investments.
Wow, that's great news. Sa inyo naman, Dr. Aguirre, what are your plans? Parang, do you think you need to open more clinics? Are you planning also to expand your clinic in other parts of the country? Kasi dapat hindi lang sa
Yes.
baka yung
Tama.
mobile mo dapat
Yes.
hindi lang doon sa
Yes.
probinsya, it could be in other provinces. So what
Yes.
are your plans?
Actually, we are
Dr.
now planning to have our expansion. We are planning to add more diagnostic services, example, 2D echo, and we are into more invasive diagnostic procedures like endoscopy, colonoscopy. We are planning all those expansion. So, and God willing, maybe we can have our also a satellite clinic or a satellite diagnostic in
Yeah.
other towns of Batangas and in nearby provinces. Yes.
In terms of investment, Doctora, do you need a huge capex to really set up a clinic?
As far as our clinic or corporation is concerned, for diagnostic, we spent almost 8 million for the capex, for the basic, for the secondary diagnostic services. Yes, we really need to invest in order to have a quality, quality
Service.
machines and quality service and quality equipments. We really need to invest because that is the key for in order to have a proper diagnosis to our patients.
That's right. And being part of a medical center before, you needed also to upgrade Kumbaga
Yes.
parang yung nasabi mo na figure, maliit pa nga yun.
Yes.
Dahil,
Yes.
di ba, every year,
Yes.
di ba, parang the technology is changing. Di ba, kung dati, di ba,
Pakabilis,
yung
di ba?
maliit lang na
Yes.
cell ang makikita mo,
Yes.
kailangan pala with the new machines, you have to magnify it,
Yes.
1,000, 3,000
That's true.
times. So, sabi ni attorney, the foreign investments are welcome. So, would you think that putting up this satellite clinics or new mobile initiatives, how long do you think this should we see it into fruition or into reality? What's your timeline on this, Doctora?
I think if we really have the investment and the foreign investors that are willing to give or to invest in quality healthcare and wellness, I think 2 years is really something.
It's
Yes,
possible
it's
na.
possible.
Attorney, in terms of specific projects aside from health and wellness, are you also focusing on other areas so that you will see a more high impact service to your constituents?
Yes, of course. As I've said earlier, I've presented this 12-point agenda before my constituents during my campaign, and even up to now, I am in the process. My team, my transition team, in going to the City Hall of Santo Tomas, is seeing to it that this 12-point agenda will come into effect. So ngayon po, nag-uusap na kami, and lahat naman yan intertwined naman po lahat ng programa natin. So number one, health. Lahat naman kailangan ng health
Tama.
Education,
Oo.
mga bata natin, mga
Yes.
senior citizens, PWDs, investment promotions, lahat po siya intertwined. Ating DepEd and ating tourism, agro-industrial development, lahat po sila is intertwined. So with my 12-point agenda, I think all the basic sectors and basic needs and necessities of Santo Tomas will be addressed. So no worries po dahil lahat po ng sector, all bases are covered sa ginawa natin 12-point agenda na hopefully ma-implement natin in the next 3 years of sitting as the mayor of my city.
So far, attorney, what are your learnings during the pandemic and during the last elections? I know that with the many elected officials also somehow there were new realization during the pandemic and another realization during the campaign
Yes,
period.
actually, I think my realization is that you have to feel what your constituents felt during this pandemic. Kasi nakita natin na akala natin we're hit by this lightning that we did not expect. So lahat tayo nagulat, mayaman, mahirap, all sectors ay naapektuhan. So nakita ko kailangan ng mga tao is, ang realization ko is dapat maramdaman mo yung nararamdaman ng iba for you to be effective in what you're doing and what you want to impose or gawin sa kanila, di ba? So, kung hindi mo nararamdaman yun at hindi mo sila nakita or hindi mo naramdaman or nababaan sila, hindi mahihirapan ka mag-isip kung ano ba yung pangailangan nila. So, dahil pinilit po natin and advocacy talaga natin is to reach out to as many people as I can. So, nakita po natin and naramdaman ko yung kanilang pangailangan, which is what I am trying to address in the next 3 years of my sitting as the new mayor of Santo Tomas. Na iparamdam sa kanila yung serbisyong mabilis na aksyon and serbisyong nilalapit sa kanila.
Wow, that's great to hear po. Kayo, Doktora, 2 years back, di ba? Parang kayo na yung nakaranas nung hirap being as a frontliner, as a health worker. Yung nababalitaan pa natin, may bagong variant na naman.
Yeah.
Tapos may monkeypox pa. Di ba? So parang ano ba naman to? Parang hindi na matapos-tapos. So are there instances when you said parang you should have had a different career, or is this or is it the opposite where you said, wow, parang this is my I am here because this is where the whole world is needing at this time?
Kasi paulit-ulit sinasabi din ng mga professors namin way back in medicine na talagang being a doctor or being a physician is really a noble profession. So dito po namin napatunayan talaga nung dumating yung pandemic. Kasi wala namang nag-expect na dadating pa ito eh. Although, ang advantage lang sa ngayon na nag-pandemic tayo, very advanced na ang science, very advanced ang technology. So, mabilis na proseso ang ating vaccine. Although, inabot pa rin ng taon, pero at least mabilis compared nung last time na nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic. I think 1920s. Yeah. So, mabilis ngayon. So, yung focus ngayon ng tao talaga nasa mga healthcare workers. All eyes are on us. So, maraming realizations, maraming learnings na hindi pa pala enough yung ating kaalaman ngayon. At talaga kailangan tayo, continuously, we have to really study. And we really have to equip ourselves with knowledge. Lalo na po kaming mga doktor na inaasahan po ng ating mga pasyente.
Dr. Aguirre, it's now your time to address our audience on your message to them, and if there are services that they think that they can avail in your clinic, what are these and where can they find it? Marami pong nanonood ngayon sa inyong lugar at sa buong Pilipinas. So, saan po kayo pwedeng bisitahin at kung may mga pangailangan sila na they wanted to take advantage of from your clinic at kung napapadaan sila sa inyong lugar, saan po kayo pwede puntahan, saan po ang address at sino po ang pwede nilang tawagan?
Again, this is Dr. Aguirre po. I would like to invite you to come to our clinic. Sa pagkakaalam po namin, kami po ang nagbibigay lamang po ng serbisyo sa surgery, ambulatory surgery sa buong Batangas and outpatient surgeries na kailangan po or hindi na kailangang ma-admit pa sa ating mga ospital ay kayang-kaya po natin gawin sa ating pong Shera Eye Center Plus. Kami po ay 4 years na in our business. We already catered as much as 8,000 surgical patients. Pwede niyo po kaming makita sa Maharlika Highway, San Antonio, Santo Tomas, Batangas, Shera Makiling Building sa second floor po. And makikita niyo po doon, magkatabi lang yung Shera Eye Center Plus at yung Shera Health Diagnostic and Multispecialty Clinic. One-stop shop po ito. So kung pumunta po kayo doon para po sa inyong surgical needs, ay nandun na rin po yung ating diagnostic services para po doon sa inyo pong mga pangangailangan sa laboratory.
Attorney Art, napakalaki pong karangalan din po sa amin para kayo ay mag-guest po dito sa Open for Business. If you can address also not only your constituents but the Filipino people who like us would also want to be safe, secure, and continue to be healthy, not only for our kids but for the kids of our kids. The floor is yours, Attorney Art.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Sir Cesar Vallejos, and Open for Business for inviting us here. Thank you po for giving us the opportunity to give out our message and make our programs known to you. And secondly, I would like to thank also Shera Makiling Health Corporation, headed by my sister, for their continuous and unending support in my healthcare programs and my continuous programs for Santo Tomas. Rest assured po na patuloy po tayo magbibigay at hihingi ng tulong sa Shera Health Corporation, Shera Diagnostic, para sa pagpapanatili ng kalusugan ng ating mga mamamayan, lalo tigit sa lungsod ng Santo Tomas. And for my constituents, rest assured din po that my program will continue, especially dealing with healthcare provision. Pagkapatuloy po natin ang Asia Mobile Clinic na umikot sa inyong mga barangay, Sitio Purok, as I have said during my campaign. And we will continue to be of reach sa lahat po ng mga mamamayan. Manatili po tayong abot kamay ng ating mga mamamayan. And sa ating mga kababayan, let's not lose hope ha. Tayo po ay isipin natin na tayo nasa pandemya pa rin. At kailangan po nating mag-iingat lagi. And part of my program also is health and wellness. Abangan niyo po ang ating health and wellness program in our City Hall and in the whole city of Santo Tomas. Part po yan ng ating 12-point agenda din. And sa ating mga kababayan at sa mga bagong maglilingkod po sa ating bansa, I wish you well and sana po magkatulungan tayo dahil ang Santo Tomas sa panguna po ng inyong lingkod will always be here and will always support all the programs of our new administration. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aguirre and Attorney Arth, Mayor Arth. Maraming salamat po, and I hope that we can visit Santo Tomas
Yes, sure.
so that we can
You're very welcome.
document the successes of MSMEs in the area.
Rest assured po, rest assured.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Aguirre and Mayor Arth. Open for business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Good news sa lahat ng mahilig magluto at kumain.
May bago at katakam-takam na cooking show dito lamang sa Net25. Ako si Pat Pidaza.
Ako naman si Sandy Daza.
Samahan niyo kaming magpinsan dito sa
Lutong
Lutong Daza.
Bukod sa masarap at abot kaya na recipes, masarap ang kwentuhan at halakhakan dito.
At syempre, laging may special celebrity guest.
Huwag kalimutan,
Lutong Daza. Dito lamang sa Net25.
Welcome back to Open for Business. I am Randy Bernardino, and here are the trending business news around the world. Philippines' debt level still manageable according to the World Bank. The country's debt level remains manageable, but the government must pursue a fiscal consolidation plan to avoid a further dent on economic growth, the World Bank said. Senior economist Kevin Chua said a fiscal consolidation program would promote macroeconomic stability and support long-term economic growth. The outgoing government has proposed a fiscal consolidation plan wherein Filipinos will have to brace for additional taxes and reduced exemptions in order to pay off record high debt. While such a plan will be for the incoming administration's approval, the Department of Finance said a three-tranche reform program is needed to bring in revenue and trim debt. The national debt has ballooned to another record high of 12.76 trillion pesos as of April. Twitter to share data with Musk. Twitter will yield to Elon Musk's demand for internal data central to a standoff over his troubled $44 billion bid to buy the platform, U.S. media reported. The news comes just days after the Tesla chief threatened to back out of his deal to purchase Twitter, accusing it of failing to provide data on fake accounts. Twitter's board decided to let Musk access its full firehouse of internal data associated with the hundreds of millions of tweets posted daily at the service. Musk agreed to buy Twitter in a $44 billion deal in late April. Musk began making significant noise about fake accounts in mid-May, saying on Twitter he could walk away from the transaction if his concerns were not addressed. China factory inflation eases to lowest in a year. China's factory gate inflation dropped to its lowest in a year in May, official data showed, while consumer prices were stable despite COVID-linked transport disruptions. The Producer Price Index, or PPI, measuring the cost of goods at the factory gate, rose 6.4% on year, National Bureau of Statistics figures showed, in line with analysts' predictions. The figure was down from an 8% rise in April and the lowest since April last year, according to official data. World food prices hit record highs in March after Russia invaded agricultural powerhouse Ukraine. Both countries are major exporters of key commodities such as wheat, vegetable oil, and corn. And now on to our Tech Buzz, where we find out the latest trends in technology. Today we learn, what is a stablecoin? A stablecoin is a digital currency that is pegged to a stable reserve asset like the US dollar or gold. Stablecoins are designed to reduce volatility relative to unpegged cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Stablecoins bridge the worlds of cryptocurrency and everyday fiat currency because their prices are pegged to a reserve asset like the US dollar or gold. This dramatically reduces volatility compared to something like Bitcoin and results in a form of digital money that is better suited to everything from day-to-day commerce to making transfers between exchanges. And now on today's job hunting tip. Every week, we will provide you with tips for first-time job seekers, for those wanting to advance in their careers, or even those wanting to start fresh and change professions. Today's tip: follow companies you are interested in. Simple and easy. Follow their pages and accounts on all social media platforms. This will allow you to get to know what's going on in the company and will help your research when you eventually get an interview with them. If you are really serious about working for a specific company, keep a log of developments in that firm so you can refer back to them easily. And now on to our Millennial feature with Jasmine Agustin.
Millennials are the world's first digitally native generation, and their tech-infused upbringing sets them apart from previous generations. Their young eyes witness the globe become more global and connected. The globe is at an all-time high in terms of technology. But the problem here is not everyone is much concerned about their body, but they are far more concerned with their eyes. Have you ever been just surfing the web or drafting an important document at work and noticed that you could feel your eyes? Eye strain is a significant issue for many who spend their days in front of computers. Have you heard of CVS, or the computer vision syndrome? CVS is the most widespread occupational danger in the 21st century, affecting more than 70% of all computer users. Here's how you can start avoiding eye strains. Follow the rule of 20-20-20. The rule is followed that every 20 minutes a person looks at the screen, he or she must look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Following the rules will help you remember to take regular breaks. This will relieve eye strain caused by prolonged use of a digital screen. Limit your screen time after a few minutes. Check your phone and remove the ones you don't need. If your free time exclusively utilizes social media, for example, uninstall some of it. Try to keep track of how much time you are actually spending staring at that brilliant blue light. Vision is our most precious sense. The convenience of utilizing computers can sometimes come at a significant cost. Nobody is going to fix this problem for you. It is crucial to note that there are a bunch of other issues that can arise from gazing at a computer for extended periods of time. I am Jasmine Agustin for Open for Business.
Araw-araw may bagong kaalaman. Dahil sa Tony Knows, Everybody Knows! Your Kuya Tony Petgaba na hindi naubusan ng tips. Siyempre, from DIY to life hacks, sagot ko na yan. Saan ka pa? Let's all play together. Let's have fun together. Tara na, sumali at makigulo sa aming kada challenge. Sa kada umaga, kompleto na ang inyong umaga.
Open for Business is back, and our buzzword for the week is healthcare. The healthcare sector consists of businesses that provide medical services, manufacture medical equipment or drugs, provide medical insurance, or otherwise facilitate the provision of healthcare to patients. The business side of healthcare is something that's rarely talked about, but it sure presents a lot of impact in our nation's economy. By investing in health, we are also investing in economic stability. A healthy labor force equates to a healthy economy. And with that, our quote of the week is, "No one injured their eyesight by looking at the bright side." Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood ng Open for Business. Thank you to our guests, Dr. Arnilyn A. Marasigan Aguirre and Attorney Mayor Arth June Aguilar Marasigan. Samahan ninyo kaming muli sa Open for Business sa susunod na linggo. Learn more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, industry experts, and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines, keeping you informed and open for business. Be ahead of the curve from vision to action. Panoorin din ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Cesar Vallejo.